Hello, my fellow Americans. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. Wednesday, December 23rd, year 2020, day 35, day 36 of the Oregon lockdown over the coronavirus. Oh, so much going on in the world. Part of the problem is that when people don't do what they're supposed to do, and there's no way to really hold them accountable, or let's just say the way of holding them accountable is pretty serious, and not many people want to go to those lengths. You know, I was thinking about reading from the Declaration of Independence, but if you've watched this video series or any of my other videos, you know that I'm not plugged into the Matrix. So if somebody, 200 plus years ago, 400 years ago or whatever, wrote something down, thousands of years ago, on a piece of paper, and it says, well, these are your rights or whatever, that I believe it. It's just, that's just part of the game that they've been putting on us, for centuries. The bottom line is that we've got people that we elect to lead us, and part of that responsibility and leadership is to protect us. The thing is, nobody's protecting us from the leaders. It looks like Congress has passed a stimulus package, a stimulus bill. Second largest amount of money, I think, in the history of the country. And the bill, I think they say, is about somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 pages, and about 2.5 feet high of paper. And in it, there's a provision that's going to give each of us a $600 check if we make less than $75,000 a year. And to some people, $600 is a lot of money, and I'm wondering if those homeless people are going to get that. But the reality check is, this bill is almost $1 trillion, and for the amount of money that they're giving to the people, I think it comes to about, I forget, 200-300 billion, something along those lines. Not really sure. Bottom line is, Congress, I guess, is feeling the Christmas spirit, and they're just giving money to all these other countries and all these other entities within our country. A buddy of mine said there's something in there. I think he said it was 300 million or 150 million. It was over 100 million to study something about why people feel disillusioned about government or the election process or something to that effect. And he's pretty upset about it. But as I pointed out to him, I said, well, the Stoic approach is that's not in our control, so there's really no reason to get upset about it. The smart thing to do is look at the bill, look at how the money's being apportioned, and say, is there some way I can profit from this? That's kind of a capitalistic view. Somebody might call it greedy. But you see, therein also lies a problem. When you label something, you can dismiss it, just like what they did with the people who were protesting at the Capitol in Salem. Right-wing extremists, white supremacists. You label it, you can dismiss it. It doesn't matter, what they were there for, what the real issue is. once you label the person or group, then you can just dismiss them, just like that. Oh, he's a racist, dismissed. You know, he's a white ring, white ring, white, a right wing extremist. You know, he's a white supremacist. Just dismiss him. You know, and you can do the same thing. Well, they're Black Lives Matter. Dismiss. They're Antifa. Dismiss. It works both ways. And so, you know, we the people, we never seem to win. But, you know, back to the stimulus bill, these people, these congressmen, these senators, they have this responsibility to protect us. I think they have a responsibility to choose between, you know, right, wrong, good and evil, that'll back to that, you know, duality. But they don't. For the simple reason they're human. They've gotten a taste of power, a taste of the good life, and they want to hold on to it. I mean, it's so obvious when they tell us to stay home, but they can fly to Hawaii or they can fly to their beach house in New Jersey or wherever they go. They tell you to keep your holiday dinner small, just with the immediate family, yet they invite, you know, dozens or hundreds of their family to their place. So, you know, if you want to read the Declaration of Independence, and, you know, there's that part about, you know, if we have tyrants, what we need to do, and, you know, that's why we have a Second Amendment, and all of that. But the bottom line is, probably not going to happen. It's just probably not going to happen. We're just going to take it more and more. We'll fuss, we'll grovel, we'll make YouTube videos. But that's why I say, you know, what am I doing? I'm just making sure I got plenty of food to eat. I mean, I can stay up here on the hill away from the rest of the world, you know, for a while and not have to worry about it, you know, unless they decide to try and come up my driveway or something. But, you know, not everybody has that luxury. Some people live in the city. The big city of... but, you know, they might have to deal with some hungry neighbors or some hungry drug addicts or something. Because when people get hungry, they get mean. They see you have what they need, they might try and take it. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're talking about gun control. Because things get tough and you have what the government needs, they want to come take it from you. But if you've got a gun or two, maybe you fight them back for a while. They don't want that. They just want you to do what they say and hand it over willingly. Not everybody is going to do that. So, you know, that's just what's happening here during this lockdown. You know, a lot of hurting families. You know, you watch the evening news if you can, and you see people lined up in food banks, but a lot of it still gets down to personal responsibility. In fact, last night I was watching the CBS evening news, because that's the only channel I get out here, and they had this story of this one guy that, you know, volunteering at a food bank. Well, I heard that, it perked my ears up because I volunteered at a couple of food banks. That's my way of, you know, giving back to the community. But this guy, they said he was a chef, and he lost his job. He was making, I forget, $80,000, $90,000 a year, some fancy restaurant back east. He's 52 years old. And he had this young daughter. I think she was like less than a year old. hit me. What in the world is a 52-year-old guy doing bringing another kid in the world at that age? Because when he's 70, you know, she'll be 18. He's going to be he's going to be grandfather age, really. And the funny thing is, you know, with the generation compression that we have, I've known grandmas and they were only 36. So I'm just thinking it just doesn't seem smart. You know, people are allowed to do what they want to do, and I'm not really judging. I'm just saying, or maybe I am, because to me that just doesn't seem to be smart or responsible. Doesn't seem right to the kid, you know. Kids should have parents when, you know, when they hit that age around 10 or something, they want to go out and play. The parents should be young enough to play with them and engage with them in sports, or, you know, riding bikes and things like that. But, you know, some guy, you know, even though older people like me, you know, we're still pretty active, but it's something about it just that doesn't seem right. But that's just my opinion. So, but back to personal responsibility. If you're going to make decisions and choices that are going to have, you know, long-term effects over years, like raising a child, you know, that's like 18 years or more. You need to be prepared. You need to be prepared to do that. And you need to realize that everything could be okay today, but if you're not prepared for what could happen tomorrow, then your whole world could come crumbling down. As my friend Joe would say, you know, all it takes is for everything to go wrong at the same time. That's all it takes. And we're starting to see some of that, you know, with the natural disasters and the virus, and then the response to the virus. A lot of things are going wrong at the same time, and some people, they're getting that, it's a knockout blow. Other people get knocked down, but they can get back up. But some people are getting knocked down and knocked out. And so the question is, which one are you going to be? And that's why you have to prepare. Because if you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail.